It is time for Overreaction Monday, and we got a lot to talk about as the Lions took an L last night to the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to talk about Craig Reynolds, Josh Reynolds, future for the Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, play caller, potential OC. Keep that going forward. Amon Ra St. Brown, is he the Lions' number one wide receiver going forward? Wide receiver one. Jared Goff, because Tim Boyle stinks, he would have led us to a victory, and he can lead us to many victories. And 2022, can the Lions make a significant jump, make the playoffs? But before we get into this video, if you're an individual who'd like to know what it feels like to get naked, buck naked, and roll around nothing but poison ivy and have a good time doing so, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions, news and rumors. And I tell you what, you can get a rash being a Lions fan. Also, take that like button, strip it, buck naked, and throw that in the poison ivy as well. Let's get into today's Lions overreactions. Amon Ra St. Brown, I'm seeing a lot of platforms talking about he is a number one wide receiver. He is Lions wide receiver one, and we shouldn't have to draft a wide receiver early because we have Amon Ra St. Brown, and he is proven to be the guy, the number one guy for the Detroit Lions. Is this an overreaction? Yes, it is an overreaction. I love what Amon Ra St. Brown is doing, but in my opinion, he's not a number one. He could be very good. Potentially he's a number two and a number three, making havoc and reaping it a lot. Before Amon Ra St. Brown was starting to show out, we didn't really have a number one wide receiver. And guess what? Then Josh Reynolds came to the Lions offense, and he did really good opening up the field. And as you can tell, Jared Goff trusts him, and guess what? It opens it up for everybody else. I do not trust Amon Ra St. Brown to be a number one guy. I still think the Detroit Lions need to go into free agency, need to go into the NFL draft to get a bona fide number one wide receiver. And guess what? In this draft, there is a ton of them for the Lions to select. Let me know in the comment section, do you believe Amon Ra St. Brown is a bona fide wide receiver one? Do you think the Lions need to go to the draft and select one? Let me know in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Reynolds rap. Both the Reynolds brothers, they need to be the future of the Detroit Lions. Is this an overreaction? No, not at all. I love what I'm seeing from Josh Reynolds, wide receiver, just like we talked about in the previous segment there. He has definitely opened it up for the wide receivers. Adding him opened up the playbook, and it gave our quarterback, Jared Goff, who will be quarterbacking next year, a weapon he trusts and he can throw the ball to, and he has not disappointed at all. The guy has done exactly what we wanted him to do, and it has worked really well for the Lions offense. If you have a balanced offense, you can do wonders. And another way to balance this offense is Craig Reynolds, the Lions running back. We've seen it now in multiple games that Craig Reynolds can get it done on the ground. He is good in space, he's patient, and what's amazing is he sheds blocks. Watching that play where he got thrown the football, he shed 3 players to get a first down. Craig Reynolds is a very good running back for the Detroit Lions. They are the future, at least the immediate future. We're talking at least in 2022 for the Detroit Lions. We need to re-sign Josh Reynolds. I think that should be something that should be done before we go into next year, to have him as a wide receiver part of this group. It's only going to help the offense out. We already signed Craig Reynolds, and I want to see him featured more. I want to see Craig Reynolds with the football more than Jamal Williams, in my opinion. DeAndre Swift is hurt, so give Craig Reynolds the football and continue to feed Josh Reynolds the football by Jared Goff. That's what it's all about. The Detroit Lions shown with Tim Boyle that they can win with Jared Goff, because if Jared Goff was the quarterback yesterday, the Lions could and should have won that game. Is that an overreaction? No, I actually do believe that Jared Goff would have won that game yesterday, because Tim Boyle, he basically was just handing the ball off and being very precautious when it comes to these 5-yard passes. And I think Jared Goff would have opened it up a little bit more and we should have won the game if he was quarterback. That is not an overreaction to me, and I think Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Tim Boyle. We could have won that game. Is he the guy that's going to take the Detroit Lions to the next level next year? That is yet to be seen. I still think the Detroit Lions need to have a future quarterback. I'm not suggesting them to draft one next year high, because I don't think that's going to be the case now. But I'm talking about 2023, 2024, going and beyond that. Not necessarily sure that Jared Goff could potentially be that guy. Now, he's going to have next year to figure it out. Why? Because he has that cap, and he's going to be the quarterback. The Detroit Lions very well could draft a quarterback, maybe third, fourth, fifth round. They could sign a quarterback in free agency who's a much better backup, like a Marcus Mariota, that could push Jared Goff. But right now, he's the best quarterback on this team. I do feel we would have won that game against the Atlanta Falcons if he was starting, and he's going to give us a better chance to win if he plays against the Seattle Seahawks, and it definitely looks like he will be playing in that game, because I'm sure by then the COVID stuff will be over. Let me know in the comments section, would the Detroit Lions have won the game if Jared Goff was quarterbacking against Atlanta yesterday? Campbell and Johnson. Now, we have noticed when it comes to Dan Campbell in the play calling that has gotten better in the last couple of weeks. It feels like he has grown in that position, and he just stated that he's going to continue to call plays the rest of this year. We all figured that would be the case. But should he be the guy, since he called 2 good games going forward into next year? Should he be play calling for the Lions next year? What do I think about this? No, I don't believe he should be calling plays next year. Why? I want him to be a head coach and give that duties to your offensive coordinator, and we're going to get into that here in a second. I do like the aggressive moves that he was doing. I do like what he did yesterday. I thought the play calling was very good, especially giving up to a backup quarterback. You really didn't want him to throw the ball downfield and get intercepted like we did yesterday at the end of the game. I thought it was good for what we had and the players that we had available to utilize. But going forward, I want him to be a head coach next year and focus on the whole team, not just giving a lot of the time to the offense, because we have an offensive coordinator that should be doing that. Ben Johnson, should he be offensive coordinator? Look, I've been talking about this for weeks, that I feel like they should look outside the organization, but I must say, with the plays that is being called up, the playbook itself that we're seeing, he's done a very good job. I like the plays that's being called, and I do believe that they're going to hire internally, and I do believe Ben Johnson will be the offensive coordinator. And so with that said, I will support him to be OC, because the playbook has been much, much improved. Each week it's getting better and better. The plays itself, the scheme itself, going against defenses, I like what's happening. And I do believe Ben Johnson is very integral towards that. And if he continues to get better the next 2 weeks, we got 2 weeks left, I think it only can get better with the time he has in the offseason. So I'll support it if he becomes offensive coordinator, and I think it would benefit the Detroit Lions. Let me know in the comment section, do you want Ben Johnson to be OC? Why for yes and for no? Lastly, and surely not the least, the Detroit Lions can be a team that can compete next year in the playoffs, because we're finishing strong and we're showing a different type of football team. Is this an overreaction? I don't think it's an overreaction. I'm going to tell you why. I believe this year was going to be rough, and it was. I said between 2 and 5 wins, 6 at the very most, 2 at the very least, and it looks like it's going to be between 2 and 5. We could win another game here or there. We'll see. But the team is playing really strong, and we're talking about backups upon backups. We have players on this defense, we don't even know where they're coming from. And that's a testament to Aaron Glenn and his great leadership defensively. And if you have a defense that could play this good with a bunch of backups, imagine what can happen when you get a lot of starters back. And we got free agency and the draft with 10 draft picks currently slated. Defense is going to get better, because we're probably going to get a Kayvon Thibodeaux or Aiden Hutchinson with our first pick. and it will be probably a safety with the first pick or the first pick in the second round. I do believe a safety will be high. That's exactly what we need. And the draft is filled with good safeties and good defensive ends and some linebackers, and that's what we need. And there's free agency. There's good players there, and I do think the Detroit Lions will upgrade. Same with offense. We need help at wide receiver. Guess what there is a plethora of in the NFL draft and free agency? Wide receivers, and we got the money to upgrade that position. Frank Ragnow comes back, players that's been injured, TJ Hockenson. All these players are coming back, and a more cohesive offense when it comes to Ben Johnson and the play calling. The offense will continue to get better with better weapons. And guess what? What is the one thing we've been talking about on my channel for years now? Since I started, I want the Detroit Lions to be a physical football team, a gritty football team that's not about finesse. It's about to punch you in the mouth, run the football, play action, and play good defense. And that's exactly what this team is becoming. Physical, ground and pound, grind it out team. And that's exactly how you win when you're in the NFC North. And if you look at the Chicago Bears, they're probably firing Nagy, Minnesota Vikings, a lot of question marks there. We don't know what's going to happen with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. I think the Detroit Lions could make a bounce like the San Francisco 49ers did this year. I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs, but I think we'll be in that conversation when it comes to next year in December. The Lions will make a significant jump, and I'm really excited to see this. And I don't think that's hyperbolic or an overreaction to state. In the upcoming videos, we do got videos dropping tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, the One Pride podcast on my channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be fun. And mailbag segment Saturday, and on Sunday, the second to last game of the year, the Detroit Lions travel to Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be a live watch party on my channel. Going to be exciting. Can't wait for it.